For the majority of my career, I've been wearing glasses that don't have a prescription. Now, I started doing this long before glasses were a fashion statement, and I got some strange looks at the optometrist's office when I made my request. But I actually wasn't the first person to do this. In some of Reverend Martin Luther King's most famous photographs, you'll notice that he's wearing glasses. Doesn't seem strange until you learn that Martin Luther King had 20/20 vision. When someone finally worked up the nerve to ask him about the spectacles, he replied, "I felt they made me more distinguished." It was as simple as that. Now, did prescription lens glasses actually make MLK a more powerful leader? Your initial response might be, of course not. But the guy was actually onto something. There's a psychological phenomenon called enclothed cognition, which is a fancy way of saying that putting on stuff that makes you feel like a badass makes you behave like a badass. Kellogg's School of Management once performed a study where they had students wear one of 3 different coats and then measured their attention and accuracy. Students wearing a white doctor's coat behaved more attentively. Students wearing a painter's coat behaved more artistically. And students wearing a lab coat were more cautious in their actions. The thing is, all 3 coats were the same. The students just adopted the traits based on the coat they were told they were wearing. This tells us something powerful about the human mind. Whatever we associate ourselves with, we take on the traits of. Martin Luther King may not always have felt like a distinguished leader, but he found a way to associate himself with the persona of someone who could lead with confidence. And this is a trick that many of the most powerful people in the world have used to get ahead. Athletes bring an alter ego onto the playing field. Singers create aliases for themselves when they perform. Even Winston Churchill used to stand in front of a wall of hats when he was feeling discouraged and ask himself, which self should I be today? I call this moment of decision your phone booth moment. It's the moment when Peter Parker decides it's time to undergo a transformation and emerge as Spider-Man. The moment when he realizes that the field of play has changed and it's time for a different self to show up. So he has to enlist the help of his alter ego. And we all have the opportunity to use this trick. Maybe our alter egos can't fly, maybe they can't lead a revolution, but they can help us tap into a sense of confidence that we don't naturally possess. When athletes activate their alter egos on the field, they score more goals. They focus more intently on their game. The first time I slipped on these glasses, the way I saw myself changed. Instead of staring back at a young and insecure version of myself, I saw the confidence and sophistication I associated with my role models. And that confidence was a game changer. It affected the way I spoke to my clients, the goals I decided to set for myself, the shoes that I eventually grew into. The power of perception is incredible. The face that you present to others becomes the person they believe you are. And when you find a way to identify with the strongest, most powerful version of yourself, that's the person you start growing into. You may not be Clark Kent or Peter Parker. You may not know how to fly, scale walls, or fight off supervillains, but the good news is you don't need to. All you need to do is find a way to activate a part of yourself that makes you feel 50% more confident, 50% more capable, 50% more similar to the person you wish you were. All you need to do is figure out what your real life phone booth looks like and then know when it's time to step into it.